Camera's on. Microphone is on. That leaves one thing left. My pink notebook, which means it's time for the West Ham transfer rumour show. Got plenty to get through. 90% of it is absolute rubbish, but doesn't stop me keeping an eye out on the latest going on in the West Ham transfer world and keeping you up to date. We're going to start with who David Moyes wishes to sell. This position hasn't changed. We need to sell before we can buy. That's not changed as yet. And the players that we're looking to offload is Ryan Fredericks, Fabian Balbuena, Felipe Anderson, Manuel Lanzini, Jack Wilshere, Arthur Masuaku and Jordan Hugo. Now we'll get onto the players on an individual basis as we go through the video, because they're tied into the incomings as well, really. But before we get onto all that, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Quite a lot of you watch these videos haven't subscribed. Don't really blame you. But it'll make me feel good if you subscribe and stick around for the next Pink Notebook episode. Anyway, right, the incomings, where we're starting. Shane Duffy. This one's kicked off a little bit tonight because Shane Duffy's mate has decided to have a little bit of a laugh, and he's managed to wind up a few West Ham. I say wind them up. He's played an absolute blinder here. I've got all the time in the world for someone like this. Someone that likes to have a little bit of fun. I wholly applaud this guy. I can't remember his name, but basically today Shane Duffy was playing golf with his friend, and he put up a picture of him playing golf with his friend, and he tagged him. So a West Ham fan took it upon himself to message Shane Duffy's friend, and it was something along the lines of, "Oi, tell Shane come West Ham," and his friend replied, "Hopefully happen this week, he wants to come." So this has obviously caused a bit of excitement and stuff on social media. The geezer's played a blinder here, because he did the same thing to Celtic earlier in the week. A Celtic fan messaged him in the week and basically said, "Oh, is Shane coming up to Celtic?" And he replied something like, "Get number 4 Duffy on the back of your shirt" and stuff. I think it's brilliant. He's just having a little bit of a laugh with everyone, taking advantage of the position he's in. He's probably getting a lot of DMs about his friend, and he's decided to wind a few people up. I applaud it, sir. But the rumours are with Shane Duffy is that the move is still well and truly on, that we are trying to get him to West Ham. The loan move is the one that seems to be more and more likely to happen than the permanent move. The fee of 10 million was it's not going to happen in West Ham, but the fee of 2 million to get him on loan for a season, then purchase him at the end of the season, it makes sense. This makes sense to me, and it's tied into Balbuena. I think we're trying to offload Balbuena for around about the £5 million mark, roughly what we paid for him. Get Shane Duffy in, loan fee of 2 million. There you go, Bob's your uncle, £3 million there and thereabouts. I know there's agent fees and stuff, but let's just bear with me for the sake of it here. £3 million, use it to help upgrade another position in the squad. I get what we're trying to do here, and arguably we upgrade but on Balbuena as well. Is Duffy better than Balbuena? Some people say yes, some people say no. I don't think there's too much between them. I think they're both similar types of defenders as well. But I completely understand why we would try and do this move. Ticks all the boxes. So if you want to watch, I wouldn't be surprised if Shane Duffy's a West Ham fan by the time we play Newcastle. Saying that, we played them 3 weeks yesterday. Clock's ticking, isn't it? There's not long to go before we start playing. We've got the friendlies on Tuesday, the 2 friendlies on Tuesday. Right, so where are we going next? Eze and Watkins. It's a bit of a duel, this one. There's the same article that was commenting on them both. Ollie Watkins I'm going to rule out. I'm going to say we are not going to sign Ollie Watkins. We can't afford it. It's not feasible. The price tag's 20 odd million. We are not paying that for somebody who is possibly going to be our second choice striker or whatever. We're just not going to do it. He's got a release clause of £18 million apparently, but if you pay that, you've got to give them £18 million. There you go, up front. So Aston Villa are the front runners. They're trying to get him for around about 20, because then that way they can stagger the payments over the length of contract for Ollie Watkins. So Brentford get a couple of £1 million extra. Villa get the payment plan. Works for both parties. I would be shocked if Watkins is at West Ham next year. I would love to see Watkins here. I think he's a great striker. The fact he can play on the wings as well ticks a load of boxes. Just can't see it happening. Eze, though, this is the interesting one. We haven't made our move yet, because I just don't think we've got the money. I think we need to sell, and this is where I think we need to sell Anderson or Lanzini. And I think if we do sell one of them, I think we would make our move. But it's a gamble. If you go get him first, we're already desperate to move these players on. We're even more desperate to try and sell them. We're probably going to have to sell them for less than we would today, because we're under so much pressure to get them off our books. But Crystal Palace has still been linked with them, but struggling to agree deal. But I see Fulham's entered the sort of the talks now, if you like, and I wouldn't be surprised if Fulham make their move soon. I would not be surprised. I think it would suit Fulham. I think it would suit how Scott Parker plays. I think it would get plenty of game time at Fulham as well. I think it would be a good move for him, actually, to be honest with you. What the interesting thing is, if Fulham or Palace do get something agreed, do West Ham move? Do we then go match those terms and then try and persuade the player to come to West Ham? Don't know. I've got a feeling Moyes and Sullivan will be sweating a little bit, hoping that they can get Anderson or Lanzini out and then go for their player. Because I do believe David Moyes really likes this player and wants to get him in at West Ham. Felipe Anderson, though, has been linked to Arsenal again. We spoke about it in the video before last, but this time it's a loan move. Been linked on loan to Emirates. Can't see it, and it's sort of been half confirmed as well that even if these were true, which they're probably not, even if they were true, we've got no interest in loaning out Felipe Anderson. We're looking for 20 to 25 million to get the money in and to go and upgrade positions of the squad. So no loan deal, can't see that. But a former Arsenal player has been linked to West Ham. Aaron Ramsey, remember him? Went to Juventus last summer on a free. And he's not really had the greatest of time out there. But Pirlo's just taken over. Sarri got sacked. Pirlo he got the under 23 manager's job, and a week later got promoted to the first team manager. Not a bad promotion that after a week. But he's already, Khedira, Higuain, their contracts are up. They're at Juventus. That one of them's gone to Inter Miami. He's joined Beckham. Oh, I can't remember his name. The French midfielder. He's played with Beckham at PSG as well. You'll all know who I'm talking about. Matuidi, he's gone to Inter Miami. And it looks like Aaron Ramsey is another player that's on the chopping block. Obviously, the big problem here, he's on £250,000 a week. So that's just completely unfeasible. Now, I don't believe that we want him. Right, okay, I'm not saying that this is true. But I think this is the type of player David Sullivan would like to bring to West Ham. Maybe not David Moyes. But I know I'm reaching here, but Joe Hart, Alex Song, I just think Sullivan likes getting a player in that's got a big reputation, that has played for better clubs than West Ham, and even though he'll cost a lot of wages, there's no transfer fees. So I think Sullivan would lick his lips at trying to get in someone like Aaron Ramsey. I think he's a top player, by the way. I do really like Aaron Ramsey. Now, I must confess, I'm not seeing him at Juventus. I don't watch Italian football. I'm speaking about his Arsenal days when he plays for the Welsh national team. I know he's a bit injury prone, but I do think he's underrated. I think he was underrated at Arsenal. Do we need him at West Ham? I don't think it would be the wisest way to use the money, considering we don't have much. But should it be a loan deal, I think it would be a bit of a no-brainer, to be honest. It would be big wages, so we'd rely on getting some of these off the books. But I do like Aaron Ramsey. I don't think it's true, though. Just to be clear, before some shouts at me, I don't think it's true. I'm just talking about the rumours. It's a rumour show. Hugo, the Norwich thing's still up in the air. Apparently, like I said in the last one, Hugo, while the deal is up to $5 million, to be clear, I'm aware the package is worth $5 million. I think Norwich are trying to pay $2 million up front, and then the rest of it's based on things like promotion and so on and so forth. That's just how Norwich do business, and it's a clever way to do business. Hence why they're not under any pressure to sell Max Allen, Jamal Lewis, Ben Godfrey, Buendia, Cantwell. They're not under pressure to sell those because they're financially clever, and this is just another clever transfer they're trying to get. We are not too happy with the terms and conditions. I do think he will go to Norwich, though. If this was the last week of the transfer window, let's just fast forward to October the 1st, last week of the transfer window, and Hugo was still here, I think we'd give him away. I think he would go for free just to get his $35,000 a week wages off the books. I think that's how desperate we are now. I really do. But I'll be surprised if he's not gone soon. Masuaku, now this is the interesting one. It's popped up in the last 6-7 hours or something. I've seen that Masuaku is one of these players that we could try and sell. It's no shock. We all thought this would be one of the players. But I've seen the price tag we're trying to get is roughly 8 to 10 million. And I have to say, no chance. I just can't. 5 million, I think, is more reasonable. Maybe I'm undervaluing him massively, but I'd be shocked if we get anything over 5 million for him, to be honest with you. He's not done very well at West Ham for a couple of seasons now. I think it's quite clear he's not in David Moyes' plans, really. I think he came on against Brighton, and since then he's not really appeared. I think selling Masuaku is a really good thing to do as well in terms of trying to free up the money. He's probably worth more than Creswell with his age and stuff. So I think trying to get Masuaku out and use the money plus I don't know, the Shane Duffy money, if you want, to get a better left back in and challenge, hopefully beat Aaron Creswell's left back spot. It makes sense. It does make sense. The 8 to 10 million, though, I think is a bit unrealistic, but I could be wrong. Hopefully I am. Also, unrealistically, Jack Wilshere is someone we're trying to shift on. There was a report yesterday suggesting that we're going to sit down with Jack Wilshere. I say we, not me and someone else, the club. The club are going to sit down with Jack Wilshere, try and either move him on to another club or mutually terminate his contract. Now, I can't see that happening because you're asking Jack to give up millions of pounds. The only thing you've got going in your favour as West Ham is he is a West Ham fan. But he's a footballer. This is his career. This is his income. So I'd be surprised if there was some sort of agreement between us and Jack and he leaves. But again, it's no surprise. We're just so skint at the minute that it's no surprise to see us trying to, if we did try and come to some sort of agreement with Jack Wilshere. It'd be interesting to see if, we did it with Nolan, didn't we? Nolan's final season. They had that week in Ireland and then they come back and we had the Europa League qualifiers, and before you know it, Nolan was away. Like, he still had a year to go in his contract, but that was it. So would we do similar with Jack Wilshere? Don't know. If you offered Sullivan the chance right now to pay Jack half his wages for next year, but we rip up his contract, I think he would debate it. I think he would generally think about it. Would Jack take it? I don't know. But there might be more to it than meets the eye. But you're just going to have to do something there, aren't we? Right, okay. This is probably the strongest rumour out of the whole show. I've left it to the end because I don't really know the player, and it's someone that's at West Ham. I can't even read my own writing here. Benio Baker. It's a double barrel, so I think Benicio Baker Boatley. He's a 16-year-old winger at West Ham. He's off to Porto. He's not staying at West Ham. He's away to Porto. We'll get about £200,000 in compensation for him. The reason he's going to Porto, allegedly, is so that in a year's time, he can come back to someone like Manchester City if he wishes, and then Man City don't owe us compensation, because if he was to go direct to Man City, they have to pay us more money than it is for him going to an overseas club or them taking him from an overseas club. But it's a 16-year-old that's highly sought after. He's been linked with Bayern Munich in the last couple of months as well, so clearly he's got some sort of talent. But I'm not going to lie, I don't know him. I've never seen him play. The first time I heard of him was when he was linked with Bayern Munich a month ago. It's a shame to lose the talent, isn't it? You don't want to see players, especially when they're sought after like that, and if he goes on to do big things or whatever, then you'll look at it and think, that was a bit of a shame. So that's the news part. And the last player we're being linked with is Omar Colley, again, the Sampdoria centre midfielder. He's a defender. I've seen him called a centre midfielder somewhere, but he's a defender. I've gone on and checked. He's definitely a defender. Again, I'll leave the link to his player profile and transfer market below if you wish to check him out if you've never heard of him. Like me, never heard of him. Can't tell you anything about him. If you're watching this and you know who he is, leave your conclusion on the player below. Give your opinion on him. Anyway, West Ham transfer rumour show done and dusted. Pink notepad put away. I've got a couple of videos coming up this week. That's not the transfer rumour show. A little bit different, I think. If I do them, I'm not recording them yet. I intend on doing them anyway. If you've enjoyed this transfer rumour show, drop a like on the video. I appreciate it, I do. I've been trying to reply to more and more of you in the comments, so if you leave your comments below, I will reply. I'm getting a bit better at it. Subscribe if you're around here as always, and I shall catch you in a bit. Catch you in a bit.